Okay, this is my attempt to create a video for you guys to talk about doing a linear regression fit on your calculator. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is go to Stat, and you'll see that up here we have Edit. If you hit Enter on Edit, it will take you to your table where all of the entries are. So these are the entries that we had in class, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are your X values. And then 3, 5, 10, 20, 13, 6 are all the Y values from class that we used. Once you have all of these entered into your calculator, then what you would do, it's good to quit before you go and hit Stat again. You'll use the right arrow to take you over to Calc. Scroll down to LinReg or linear regression, AX plus B. Mine has this fancy table setup list setup that you can put in your values, right? L1 and L2, that's for X and Y. You don't need to worry about that, but the storing it is the big thing that we did. And whether you run it, whether it pops up with just this line, so you see up top how it has LinReg AX plus B. If you have a TI-83 or you have an older TI-84, it will just show that. And what you'll want to do after that is exactly what we're going to do here, which is hit vars, and then you'll hit the right arrow to go to yvars, hit enter on function, and then whichever function you want it to store as, which y1 is the default because that's the first one in your plot. So I always tend to store it as y1. And then if you are on an older calculator, you just need to hit enter. If you're on this, then I need to scroll down to the calculate. Now that it's highlighted, I can hit enter, and it gives me my results for A and B and R. Recall that R is your correlation coefficient, so that tells you how good of a line you have. In this case, we have 0.4. That's not close to 1 or -1, so it's very bad. The closer you are to 0, the worse it is. It means that your data is too random. It's not very linear. So we have a line 1.4x plus 6. Given that I told it to store it, if I hit y equals, I should see 1.4x plus 6 now stored as y1. You'll also see that I have plot 1 highlighted up there. I want that because I want to see my data and I want to see the plot. If I want to check my stat plot, you can hit second y equals. That takes you to the stat plot section. And I can just hit enter to see the details. So you can see that it's on, right? And that we're using dots, so we know we're getting a scatter plot. L1 and L2. L1 is X, L2 is Y. And then you can select whatever marker you want. Really, it just defaults to those squares. From there, now I know I have the line already in there, and I know I have the data in there, so all I need to do is hit graph. And you'll see that mine is very nice. It's very nice because it was already there. If my window had not been so nice, so say I had like -5, and then this was 5, -5, 5, that's not going to be particularly useful when I plot. Right now I don't see anything. So you may have had a plot that looked kind of funky. If you want to see the whole plot, you hit the zoom button right here. That takes you to this menu. You'll want to scroll down to the 9th thing here called Zoom Stat. And what that does is it zooms the window to include all of your data from the stat plot. And so if I hit that, it rearranges it back to the pretty graph where you see all of the data from that first plot. And as you can see, we have 3 of our data points under and 3 of our data points over this particular line, so it's doing the best it can to fit it, but this data looks more like it's increasing and then decreasing. It does not look like it's linear. So that's why our correlation coefficient was so awful. And I believe the one other thing that you guys asked about regularly was the diagnostics, right? So if I go back to my home page, when I ran stat calc and we got that linear regression, if you did not get this R value, then the thing that you needed was in catalog. So I hit second 0 to take me to the catalog. And then you have to scroll all the way down to D for diagnostics. As you can see, there's a lot in there. Diagnostic on is the thing that you want. If R squared and R are not showing up, it is likely because your diagnostic is not turned on. So if you hit enter in the catalog, it'll show up in your home screen. You'll want to hit enter again when it tells you that it's been done. It is in fact done. It has been turned on. And then when you rerun it, it will give you your R and your R squared values. If you have any other questions, please let me know.